How well does he speak for a 21-year-old?
Adjusting to life in Victoria?
I'm enjoying it at the moment. I am adjusting and acclimatising at the same time, so it's been good so far.
As you sit here in the Kathmandu puffer jacket.
That's it.
You're doing plenty of Ks though, Lukey, aren't you? You're riding all over the place. Bendigo today, Flemington on Saturday, just about everywhere in between too.
Yeah, I am riding a fair bit and clocking up a lot of kilometres on my car. My girlfriend's here at the moment and she's been my Uber driver, which has helped me a lot. So thanks to her. Get to see a lot of new things and everything, so it's good.
Must be nice to have your partner here. I know that she didn't come over initially with you, but makes it feel a bit more homely, doesn't it, when you've got some family around?
Yeah, definitely. It's good that she's here. She's been a massive help, and since I started my apprenticeship back in Perth, she's been a massive support. Helped me out along the way, and her dad as well is a jockey back in Perth, and he's a very good rider. It's a good family to be hanging around with.
I'm sure you would have grown up watching races at Caulfield, Flemington, other tracks like that. Now to have, say, you've ridden winners at those type of venues, is it sort of pinch yourself sort of stuff, Lukey?
A bit. It's sort of at the time when you're riding in the race and you go over the line first, like, you don't really know what to think. It is, because when you are a young kid and all you want to do is be a jockey, and it's the same for every sort of jockey that's wanted to be a jockey as a young kid. You know, you watch Flemington, you watch Caulfield, and it's all where the good horses are, the good racing, good riders and that. And just to be even able to ride in a race there is an unbelievable experience. So to ride a winner there is just another, you know, I'll remember that for the rest of my life, and it's definitely something that I can carry and I have it on my shoulders and say good on myself.
How long have you actually been over here now, Lukey? It's been a few weeks, hasn't it?
I reckon, I haven't actually kept count, but I reckon like 5 weeks maybe I've been here.
Yep. And are you happy with the way things have gone?
Yeah, so far I am happy with the way everything's going. All the boys in the jock room have been very good to me, been very welcoming and nice to me, and a few of the senior boys in that have always been willing to help me with my ride. Yeah, I'm happy with the way everything's going at the moment.
I know Ollie was crucial in getting you over to Victoria for a stint, or, you know, possibly into the future as well. What's your sort of relationship like with Ollie since you've been here? I know he's been away for part of it over in the US, but I imagine you sort of keep in touch with him semi-regularly?
Yeah, definitely. He always checks in and sees how I'm going, and obviously he has been on holiday at the moment, but I think he's back Saturday riding at Flemington, so that'll be good to see him again. But yeah, when he was here, before he went away, he was always happy to help me out, and I was sitting next to him in the jocks room a fair bit. Good to have another local friend from WA. Speaking
of Flemington on Saturday, Lukey, you're teaming up with Gavin Bedgegood and riding Dodgy One, who's going pretty well. Yeah, Dodgy One is good. He's won his last 2 starts, one on the Pakenham Synthetic when I rode him, and then I rode him again at Sale. He had a really nice run that day, and he was good enough to get the job done again. Look, he's quite a nice horse. It's obviously a big step up in class to go to Saturday at Flemington. He seems tough enough. If we can get the right run in the race, I think, like, I won't say it'll be hard to beat, but I think he can run a really nice race for me, and I think that'll be good. Yeah, and good to get some exposure to him on what was softer, wetter ground at Sale last week as well. He should be rock hard fit. Yeah, he'd definitely be rock hard fit. He was rock hard fit last week. I wasn't sure about if he'd get through the heavy ground last week, but he seemed to get through it really well. He won quite well. I don't think the track on Saturday will be as heavy as it was at Sale, and I think he's probably a better horse more on top of the ground. Quite excited to get back on him, and if we can get a beautiful run, I think he'll be able to be tough to the line. I know it's only Thursday and you probably haven't had a chance to go over your rides with a fine-tooth comb, but an interesting runner in the last for the Naahs who was terrific at Caulfield last week, closing behind the stablemate My Lounge Ruby. It must be a nice thrill to sort of spread your riding services and get on board for the Naahs too? Yeah, definitely. The Naahs racing stable team, they've been great. They put me on a fair bit. I'm riding a couple of rides. My first winner at Flemington was First Immortal, which was Mark Kavanagh's horse, and yeah, he's quite a nice horse. Yeah, I'm very excited to be riding their horse in the last race at Flemington on Saturday. It was a massive run last year. I think it was paying 80 to 1 or something. Yeah. Massive run behind stablemate Lounge Ruby. What about in terms of the mornings, Lukey? You're basing yourself down Cranbourne way and just getting around and doing a lot of track work, and obviously the bosses, Kieran and Dave, are over in the UK, so you're contracted to them as such, but you're spreading your services around a bit in the mornings? Not so much at track, tied down to
Kieran and Dave.
Understandably, there's a lot of horses there.
There is a lot of horses there, yeah. So it keeps me pretty busy, but they're pretty good. The assistant trainer there, Jack Turnbull, more to do with him than what I do with Kieran and Dave,
Sure.
but he's really good. Like tomorrow I'm going to Flemington to do jump outs.
Awesome.
And he's pretty sweet with me going to do all that. On jump out days, like they're fine with me to go ride jump outs for other people and like Cranbourne and that. So I am getting to spread my wings jump out wise, but track work's a little bit hard because we are so busy and we do have a lot of horses to work. So I can understand that. Jack's been really good to me. He's helped me a lot along the way.
I know you're only 5 weeks into your stint, and I don't expect to put you on the spot and give us an answer where you'll be in 10 years, but could you see yourself either A, coming over and doing hit-run missions for, you know, shorter periods of times, or perhaps eventually riding in Victoria, particularly Melbourne, on a more frequent basis, Lukey?
Look, that's a hard question to answer, but I guess I can say it'll all depend on how I'm going, because back in Perth I do get really good support from stables like Dan and Ben Pearce, obviously my boss Neville Parnham, Danny Morton, Sean and Jake Case. They all are leading stables in Perth, and they all were giving me a go back in Perth, and I was riding frequent Saturday Metro winners for those guys. Touch wood, if I did go back to Perth, I'd hopefully continue to get that support. I'll just see how I go for now. I'm just taking it each day at a time, and whatever happens, we'll have to let it plan out.
Oh, you've got a great attitude. Lukey, you're a star. Thanks so much for joining us on racing.com. Good luck at Flemington on Saturday.
Thanks, mate. Cheers for having us. Cheers.
Well summed up, Tim. He does have a great attitude, doesn't he, Luke? And been very diplomatic there about if we can see him more permanently over here in Melbourne, getting great opportunities with the Maher and Eustace stable. And how well does he speak for a 20? Some people, even in their late 40s, like Nick Quinn, aren't able to be that articulate. As we throw to him now for a market.
That's not bad from you, Kate. No wonder your fiancé, Mitch, finds you so funny. Oh, that's right, he hasn't proposed just yet. Let's get to race number 6.